Today, we will be demonstrating the element of line. Take your paper and your ruler. Measure out 2.5 inches. Make sure you're very accurate with your tick mark as you draw that up, just a tiny little mark. Then you're going to have one more reference point. Once again, measure out 2.5 inches. Draw that line. Make sure it's accurate. And then when you go to fold your paper, you're going to line those two tick marks up so that you have a straight line that's 2.5 inches wide. Now the fold that I'm using is called an accordion fold. You line everything up, making sure that it's accurate. You continue to have that 2.5 inch width. You fold down the paper, you flip it over, you line it up again. You have to go slow. If you try to rush this process, your very last fold is not going to measure out to be 2.5 inches. So if you are really concentrating, trying to line everything up just perfectly, the very last fold should also measure out to be the same. Okay, as you can see here, I've lined up everything accurately. So now I have 7 panels to work with. Okay, let's put that aside. Okay, now it is time to choose a simple silhouette that can be easily drawn to create a stencil with poster board. To create your stencil, you will need to put your image on top of the poster board, grab some scissors, and then cut around the image. Hold on tightly. As soon as you cut out the shape, you're going to place the silhouette aside and you're going to use the cardstock. Now take your cardstock and the accordion paper, line it up within the first frame of the paper. Figure out exactly the placement that you want. Then you're going to take a pencil and trace along the edges. Just make sure you're taking your time as you're tracing around your template. When I was choosing a silhouette that I wanted to use for this example to show you, I picked a sea turtle because I enjoy going down to the beach. I love the ocean. I have so many wonderful memories of seeing sea turtles, swimming. So that's what I chose. Now, when you choose your silhouette, your very simple drawing, I want you to come up with something that you really enjoy, something that resonates with you. Okay, I'm going to grab my sketchbook at this point, and I'm going to come up with different ideas, different patterns that I might want to use, keeping in mind that the very first panel is element of line. So how can I best represent that? So in this case, since I am doing a sea turtle, I'm trying to figure out what kinds of lines do I want to use. In this case, I'm looking at the background and what do the waves look like if it's just a contour drawing. So I'm thinking swirls could be kind of fun, maybe wavy lines. I'm trying to come up with something that looks just original, but fun and creative. After I've come up with the ideas that I want to use, I'll go back to my accordion paper, my final composition paper, and I'm going to get started. So I'm just going to draw lightly in the beginning. The lighter you draw, the better. I've drawn this a little bit darker so it shows up better on the video, but you're going to hear me say this all year long. Draw lightly, draw lightly. The biggest reason to draw lightly is if you mess up, it's going to be easy to erase. If you press hard on the paper and then you have to erase it, even if you're able to remove the graphite from the paper, you're not going to be able to get rid of that crease line that you've created with that pencil. So draw lightly, do your best job, draw slowly, really be proud of your work. Okay, after I've drawn everything in pencil, I'm ready to use my Sharpie marker to trace all of my pencil lines. I did it in pencil first in case I wasn't happy with any of the lines. I could erase them. Now that the Sharpie is being applied, I have to do it very slowly, very carefully, because obviously it's permanent. My composition thus far, I'm really excited about, but at this point it looks busy. There are a ton of different lines, so I need to figure out how to make a distinction between the foreground, which is my sea turtle, and the background, the waves. So in order to do this, I am going to use my thicker Sharpie marker to trace an outline around my turtle. That way it looks like he pops more out of the background. Now I'm working on the sea turtle with a thicker Sharpie on most of it. I want to make sure that it continues to be the focal point. So a lot of it is going to be a lot darker. I'm going to have less white showing, more black showing as I draw the remaining lines on my turtle. I think I've done a great job demonstrating the element of line through lots of different variations of line, thick lines, thin lines, swirls. I'm really proud of this work. Now I need to wait until it dries, and then I can go back with a white eraser and remove all the pencil lines.